Okay, part of the reason we're coming this way, there's a particular tree I wanted to have a look at, but we are passing more just here. We're having another bash at these things. We are not so many, and we're being a bit more careful about what we're actually taking. I just want literally half a dozen, just to try a different method of cooking them. So that's what we're about up here. There's a whole bunch there we need to investigate. We shall start with the one which is open. No, we can reject that right now. Too skinny. Let's have a look at, ow, ow, some of these. Sharp, sharp, sharp. Great big ball there. Well, let's get it on the path up behind me. Enough for the camera for a bit. I'm getting all spiked up again. I got loads of splinters from yesterday, believe it or not. Yeah, it's a bit late in life to be learning about this, isn't it? There's a technique with these things, even without gloves. If you sort of roll it under your foot like that, just enough to break the thing, even without gloves, you can then normally get them open. I haven't done that quite enough, but that one, for instance, although it's not really worth having that one, I don't think. It's not really the right colour, but we'll take it anyway. It's fat enough. There we go. That's how to do it. Just gently sort of crush it under your foot, sufficient to liberate what you're after. Actually, we might have that one as well. It's not really ready, but it seemed to be the experiment I did yesterday. The ones that were white, they still came out all right, as far as I could tell, you know, all stuck to the shells. So yeah, you know, just for today's experiment, we're going to continue in this vein for a while. You will just have to wait there. Right, this is the little tree that brought us in this direction, because I know there are some hereabouts. Can't see any on the tree. There's one. So yeah, we're gonna. I sort of spotted it the other day and thought, oh, we should go back to that one. Well, we have. Yeah, here they are on the floor here, look. And they've rolled down the slope. There aren't many, but that's what I was hoping for. One or two within reach, still on the tree. That's what I was hoping for. Less chance of bug holes. Anyway, we'll have a look at that one. There's a couple of decent ones in there, so we're going to have those. Right, we're starting to learn. Yeah, that was actually taken off the tree. I was able to reach up and get that off a branch. But, you know, really small ones. But I rolled it under my foot. There's two little half pointless bits there the squirrels can come back for. But that was what was in that one. You can never tell, you know, the sort of larger ones seem to be in the smaller ones quite often. But that looks pristine. So that's a goer. That's, you know, if we could find more like that, we'd be in business. There's one more side to this that I've got to roll under my foot and crack open. Yeah, not doing too well with that one. But you can see what I mean. I've crushed it a bit, and lo and behold, yes indeed. Look at that. And, you know, in the case like that, I'm assuming that you're not going to get any bugs in them. Yeah, it's just flat ones on the other side. But, you know, out of those tiny little, you know, that's how small they were, those. Let's discard that out of the path. But that's what came out of them. That's what we want. More of that. Let me have a closer look at this tree. No, we're staying here for a bit, Vermite. You're going to have to wait. There's nothing much left low. Actually, there's nothing much left. Ah, there is. Need a stick with a crook on the end to drag the branches down. I can't reach them. That's a shame, isn't it? Right, that's where it came from, just on the branch right there. Half of it's gone, the other half is still intact. So let's try to roll it under the shoe business. Just enough to break it open like that. And there you go. Look at that one. That's a good one. It's a good little tree, this. The more I look, the more I'm seeing, but they're all a bit high for me. There's a whole bunch over here. Actually, is that attached to the tree or not? That one there. Yeah, it's still attached to the tree. I'll snap that off. It's a bit small, actually. But you never know. No, I didn't do a very good job with that one. I think it's too small, actually. Yeah, too small, that one. Well, there's a big one in there again, look. It's not ripe. Let me use both hands a minute. Yeah, it's not ripe, but you know, that's a reasonable size in terms of, you know, what we're getting here. Yeah, enough with the chatting about it. Let's just do it. Right, we managed to reach up and get a few off the tree, and that's the sort of thing that's coming out of them. You know, with the small flat ones that I discard. So yeah, it's we're learning. And you're bored to tears. You're gonna have to wait, mate. You couldn't make it out. Look at that. Actually, I would put a bit too much pressure on that, but the nuts survive it pretty well. And that's your two flat ones that I'll chuck back in the undergrowth here. That was out of one of these. There's two more to go here. Let's get rid of that. I'm using a stump like the squirrels do. One flat one, two reasonable ones, and one to go. Have we opened that already? Could do with standing on that again, but we got it. Yeah, that'll do. Ditch that, and that's what we just got out of that. Just there. Scale. They're only little, but they're big little, if you know what I mean. We may call it quits very shortly, because I have a small handful, enough to experiment some more. Being a bit more selective in what I'm taking here. And I don't think any of these got little holes in, because they're still on the tree. And when I reach that one, there's one just there. Should be able to reach that branch. Where am I looking? Just here, just there. Wrong place at the wrong time, isn't it? It's midday. Just hearing comms there, the Coast Guard checking in with Steph of Landrum. Somebody from Churston Cove had reported smoke emanating from a vessel. It was some sort of discharge, nothing to worry about, blah blah blah, according to the comms I just heard. But yeah, somebody called it into the Coast Guard. Thank goodness we weren't down there, or else we'd have been getting all uptight and maybe making phone calls. Anyway, we're busy here getting all spiked up. But I've got a small pocket full now. I'm not going all over it, but that's a very good little tree. It's very productive. There's the word I was looking for, productive. There you go, there's some over there. I have to clamber through the undergrowth, which I have been doing a little, but it's probably too high over there. Very, very productive tree. I'm trying to remember what these leaves look like so I can spot other trees like it. I'm no good at this sort of stuff. bit late in the day to start trying to learn this, isn't it? Anyway, it's only an experiment again. I have a small pocket full. Is that showing? No. I got me hat in there as well. But we got a small handful there. So if a third of that works out okay, like it did yesterday, we'll have enough to experiment with again. Right, I'll shut up. Let's head back. Yeah, in the middle of flipping nowhere. In the middle of nowhere here. So we're lumber carrying that now. Great. See if we can crush it and put it in a pocket. Just wait for it. I can hear a squirrel behind us. And there were some of those nut casings on the floor there. But not enough. I couldn't spot the tree. I'm carrying a leaf. I couldn't spot the tree. In the bag with it. I lost my leaf now, haven't I? I dropped my leaf. We're going to go back to the kiln now. Yeah, that's one there. That's a tree there. With my leaf to match. But no, I saw them on the ground again. So I just looked around and lo and behold, there's a branch there to prove it. Is that the branch? No. Yeah, it is. And there's a... I'm just not in focus, am I? Well, there's fruit right there. Can't get it in focus. But yeah. The crack is, these trees grow really tall. So unless you catch them when they're pretty young, I guess, everything's out of reach. That is pretty much. Right, let's carry on. You can hear the squirrels. They're complaining that I'm stealing their food. I do feel guilty, I do. Yeah, there's quite a few on the ground here, all along the path. And a complaining squirrel. We're here, and we're going to open these up and see what we got. Like we've been doing. Oops, kicking them all over the place. One. Good enough. There's another. Good enough also. And we'll discard the small one. And so it goes. And so it goes. I have a pocket full. Let's not overdo it. Right, that's what came out of that little lot. Worth putting in the pocket, I think. I think we're going to call it quits now, mate.